I'm recording this because I am very pissed off at what I saw on TV. I see people wanting to call people racist for supporting a law that's already been in place. People say that, oh, they're breaking up our families. We're not breaking up anybody's family. The criminal is the one that's breaking up the family. I mean, it's ridiculous that these people commit crimes and, you know, they come across here, they bring drugs with them. They come across in loaded vehicles. A lot of times they're dangerous vehicles because they're loaded. Because the driver, because of the weight that he's carrying, is too much for the vehicle that he's driving. They're busting drop houses continuously. They have found weapons and drugs in these drop houses. I mean, if you want to come to another country for a better life, do it the right way. Don't come over illegally. And all these people that think that the border is actually secure, it's not. And border towns, maybe they are secure, maybe they're not. Nobody really knows for certain because you're going to have different opinions and different data that comes out. But what needs to happen is a securing of the border. The Arizona law that has been put into effect gives the law enforcement the freedom to, when they encounter them under lawful manner, now be able to take them into custody. Whereas before, the federal government was the only one able to handle them. So an officer could take them into custody, but after he got the paperwork done and everything, the federal government would say, we don't really want him, so just let him go. It happened. Sheriff Joe Arpaio's deputies called ICE one night after apprehending an illegal. ICE asked him if they did anything else wrong. Answer was no. So the ICE agent told him just take him and let him go. Channel 5 in Phoenix actually was one of the ones that reported that. That is a ridiculous way to operate, and the federal government has not done anything. And we, the legal citizens that support the law and the laws that are written, are not going to stand for amnesty. We're not going to stand for giving them freedom. People, no matter what race or nationality, need to go. It's also been mentioned that they think it's ridiculous that they should have to carry their papers with them. Okay, well, it's ridiculous to have a driver's license to drive, but people have to do it anyway, and people do it. When an officer pulls somebody over, they ask, first of all, most of the time, they ask you why, if you know why they stopped you. Now, I don't know exactly why they ask that question, if they're really finding out how much you were paying attention to your driving, or they just have a habit of asking that question. But they ask that question. And then the next question is, they ask for your license, registration, and proof of insurance. Now, I've not heard anybody complain about having to carry those three documents, the two of which have to stay in your vehicle and one that has to stay on your person. When you apply for a job, license and license ID of some sort, and your social security card. When you apply for any type of license, and I know Arizona has it to where you have to have your birth certificate, and I know there's other states that require that too, but nobody really complains about it. It's just, okay, here's my information, I am who I say I am, and you go on your way. As one lady indicated, when you travel to another country, you have to have your passport, your visa, you have to have any documentation that gives you permission to visit that country, to be in that country for whatever purpose that you're there for. Laws have to be in effect to keep order. And if we do not have laws, then we do not have order. And if these people want freedom and they want to give the illegals the freedom to break the law and then just have their crime just erased, then to be fair because they want equality for everybody. So if what Al Sharpton wants is equality for everybody, then we need to let everybody from Charles Manson to somebody that committed a minor DUI, minor meaning they just barely are DUI. They never got into an accident or anything. They got pulled over in time. Now, and everybody, just anybody that's ever committed a crime, because if one group of people gets to break a law and then have it erased, then why can't anybody else have that same freedom? It's not right for these people to be released. It's not right for the illegals to be released. But yet, what's fair is fair. And these people will never see this. They will never understand. They won't grasp the concept. And when you try to talk to those people who are against the law being put into effect in Arizona, they call the law racist, and they call people who support it racist. And I will note that those people that have been in Arizona that have been spreading the Nazi racist garbage, those people are not helping. They are actually helping the people who oppose the bill, and that's just wrong. They're not going to help get anything anywhere. That kind of hate needs to go. And as both groups, those who support the bill and those who oppose the bill, that's the kind of hate that we need to be getting rid of. And instead, we're fighting each other. You know, we have a common enemy, and instead of fighting that enemy, we're fighting each other, and it's wrong. It's out of control. And the dividing of this country comes from the people that are, as people have called them, radicals, who want to just stir the pot and stir up trouble. I also think, and I agree with a friend of mine who said that if California wants to boycott us, fine. We need to ship all of their inmates back to California and no longer house them in the state of Arizona. And Arizona needs to say, hey, if you don't want to do business with us, we're not going to do business with you. You can take your inmates and you can figure out what you want to do with them, because we're not going to keep them here anymore. And anybody that doesn't want to do business with Arizona, anybody that boycotts Arizona, I sincerely hope that those people end up putting themselves out of work because their company has to fire them because their company is not making any money as a result. So, for example, you could use like chains as like McDonald's and whatnot, but I'd rather look at it more as chains that don't have franchises. For example, if a chain like that doesn't have franchises, I guess you could say like Fry's grocery stores or even Safeway grocery stores. Well, if those people aren't making money, then they're going to have to let go of some people. So I'm actually hoping that it wouldn't actually just happen in Arizona, and I'm hoping it won't happen in Arizona. But rather than happen only in Arizona, I think it should happen in the areas where these people are cutting, like California. They may be like, hey, we're not making any money over here, but rather than let these people go, we're going to go ahead and get rid of the people in California. We're going to go ahead and close this store because, well, it costs us less money to operate in Arizona, so we can keep that store open and close the store in California. So those people that are boycotting Arizona would end up losing their jobs because, and people that don't understand the fact that law officers can't just walk up to you. And like Russell Pierce explained, if an illegal sees a crime, they can be a witness to the crime and not fear deportation. And if an officer sees somebody who's Hispanic walking down the street, they don't have the right to stop them. And I've come to the end of this video. I will continue to speak later, but that's just some of my thoughts on this entire issue.